It's time to say hello to a Ganga versus Yamuna contest. Yes, you've heard of Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb. Now get ready for a Ganga Jamuni challenge. And we will tell you all about who is winning this challenge. How did it all start? When Yogi Adityanath kicked off his election campaign blitz in Delhi on Thursday, he threw an open challenge to Arvind Kejriwal, his counterpart in Delhi. Remember, on Wednesday, you'd seen these images of Yogi Adityanath along with 54 of his cabinet ministers taking a dip at the Ganga at the Sangam in Prayagraj, where the Kumbh is ongoing. A day later, he flew to Delhi. He was campaigning for his party, the BJP, and he threw down the gauntlet for Arvind Kejriwal and said, "Can you stand in the Yamuna with your ministers just like I did at the Sangam?"
54 मंत्री मेरे साथ प्रयागराज के संगम में एक साथ डुबकी लगाए हैं। श्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी से मैं पूछना चाहता हूं, क्या यमुना जी में वह भी अपने मंत्रियों के साथ जाकर के स्नान कर सकते हैं क्या? यमुना मैया को एक गंदे नाले के रूप में बदलने का अपराध क्या उन्होंने किया है कि नहीं किया है? जिस जनता जनार्दन की इस अदालत में उन्हें कोई माफी दी जानी चाहिए। वो माफी के हकदार नहीं हो सकते।
So the challenge to comparison is straightforward. My Ganga is fit for bathing, your Yamuna is hazardous. Is there any truth to the claim? Let's find out. What we are getting to you is data from last year released by the Central Pollution Control Board, or the CPCB. What were the Yamuna versus Ganga figures like? The first parameter we looked at is the presence of fecal coliform, which is the potency of a bacteria. Simply put, it means just how potent is the bacteria found in the water that was tested. The less potent the bacteria is, naturally, that is when the water is safer for you. The acceptable range for this is between 500 to 2500. The Ganga at Prayagraj was slightly more than the accepted level at 3300. So the ideal limit is 500 to 2500. The Ganga was at 3300. Now hold your breath. Literally, for where the Yamuna's measurement stood, it stood at 2,50,000. 3,300 in the Yamuna, in the Ganga, and 2,50,000 in the Yamuna in Delhi. The bacteria in our dear Yamuna is 100 times more potent, more dangerous than the one found in the Ganga. Good luck, Delhiites. The next parameter is the minimum dissolved oxygen concentration, which should be over 5 milligram per liter. The more the dissolved oxygen, the better the water is. The Yamuna scores here, thank God. The dissolved oxygen concentration in the Ganga was at 2.8 and the Yamuna has it at 9.6. The median or the ideal level is 5. Next we come to the biochemical oxygen, and an ideal measurement is 3 milligram per liter or less. The lesser the biochemical oxygen, it means the cleaner the water is. The Ganga's measurement over here was 7.9 and in the Yamuna it was at 54, 8 times higher. Again, let me remind you, the ideal limit is 3, the Ganga has it at 7.9 and the Yamuna has it at 54. The final measurement are the pH levels. It provides protection. You would have often seen pH in your soap or in the water or in your cream. The ideal pH level ensures that your skin and your eyes when exposed to water are not hurt. It's not abrasive. Ideally, this range must be between 6.5 and 8.5. The Ganga has an average measurement of 8.25. The Yamuna is at 6.82. So both are okay here. These are the 5 parameters we looked at. After the analysis, simply put, the Yamuna in Delhi at present is unimaginably dirtier and definitely more dangerous. It has more potent bacteria in it, it has more dirt in it than the Ganga at Prayagraj, especially when it comes to that coliform level we were talking about. So what steps did the UP administration take to ensure that the Ganga stays that way? A 200-kilometer temporary drainage system to channel all grey water to treatment facilities has been put in place. Grey water is basically the water that turns grey when you have washed your utensils in it or after cooking and washing or bathing. the water turns grey, so it's called grey water. That grey water is sent to treatment facilities. Round the clock separation is done. The flowers and the puja material are kept out of the water. The Pollution Control Board does daily sample testing in the Ganga to check if any immediate intervention is needed to maintain the water quality. There is also state-of-the-art technology being used to handle human waste. All of these contribute to ensuring that at least a basic level of cleanliness is maintained. It's not ideal. None of the parameters are at the ideal level, but at least we can achieve a somewhat ideal situation so that it doesn't kill us. Remember, last November, before the Chhath Puja, the Delhi High Court refused to lift the ban on celebrations in the Yamuna after the Delhi government itself submitted in court that devotees will fall sick if they stepped in the Yamuna's water. That's how polluted it was. Around Chhath, they said, don't let the devotees go in, they'll fall sick. The court didn't agree. As a result, horrific pictures emerged of women entering this water in the Yamuna to pray amid toxic froth, a far cry from what the Delhi Chief Minister, the then Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal had promised in 2023.
मैंने आपको एक प्रॉमिस किया हुआ है कि अगले चुनाव के पहले आपके साथ यमुना में डुबकी लगाऊंगा, वो कर दूंगा पूरा।
अगले चुनाव,
हाँ, अगले 2025 का जो चुनाव है, मैंने आपको बता दिया 2025 तक हो जाएगी। अभी अभी बोला 2025 के चुनाव के पहले आप सबको लेके डुबकी लगवा के लाऊंगा।
Well, there's still hope for Arvind Kejriwal because Chhath 2025 hasn't happened. Yes, the election may happen, but his deadline that he set for himself is Chhath of 2025. What can he do to ensure that he meets the deadline he set for himself? The first important step is to check the untreated sewage from hundreds of industrial units that dot the banks of the Yamuna, set up infrastructure to reroute this waste to treatment plants. Second, treat domestic waste discharge from millions of unauthorized settlements. Third, regulate the use of Dhobi Ghat area and the floodplains. Fourth, a comprehensive center-state coordination. Fight on every other thing. Please, just clean the air and clean the water. Yogi Adityanath may have raised the Ganga Yamuna challenge, this Ganga Jamuni challenge, to make a political point, but for 3.3 crore Delhiites, it's a much, much bigger issue. If only to ensure that the water we drink, bathe and even pray in, here's hoping that by Chhath 2025, the Yamuna is clean enough for our Chief Minister to take a dip in it, irrespective of who that Chief Minister is.